In recent years, a new class of medications has captured the world's attention. GLP-1 receptor agonists, drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, are celebrated as groundbreaking treatments for diabetes and obesity. But the story is far more complex than the glowing reviews and celebrity endorsements. Behind the promising science lies a tangled web of skyrocketing costs, accessibility struggles, and growing controversy. To understand the hype and the dark side of the GLP-1 craze, we need to peel back the layers, looking at how these drugs work, who they help, and who they're leaving behind. GLP-1 drugs mimic a hormone naturally produced by the gut called glucagon-like peptide 1. This hormone plays a key role in regulating blood sugar, slowing digestion, and signaling the brain to reduce appetite. By targeting these mechanisms, GLP-1 drugs not only stabilize glucose levels, but also promote significant weight loss. Clinical trials have shown that patients can lose up to 15% of their body weight when taking these medications. These medications have transformed the treatment of type 2 diabetes, offering better blood sugar control, a reduced risk of cardiovascular complications, and improved quality of life. For millions of patients, GLP-1 drugs are nothing short of life-changing. But there's a catch. This groundbreaking innovation comes at a price, literally. One of the biggest barriers to accessing GLP-1 drugs is their cost. In the United States, the average price of a monthly supply is over $1,000. That's more than $12,000 a year, an amount that's simply unaffordable for many Americans. So, why are these medications so expensive? The pharmaceutical companies behind these drugs, such as Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, justify the prices by citing the high cost of research and development. But critics argue that these prices are more about maximizing profits than recovering costs. For example, Novo Nordisk made over $8 billion in revenue from Ozempic and Wegovy sales in 2023 alone. Yet, studies show that the actual cost to manufacture these drugs is a fraction of their retail price. This financial strain has led to desperate measures. Patients like Laura, a teacher from Texas, had to choose between paying for her diabetes medication or covering rent. Others are turning to online crowdfunding platforms or skipping doses entirely, decisions that can have life-threatening consequences. Adding fuel to the fire is the role of social media. When high-profile figures like Elon Musk attributed their weight loss to Wegovy, the public took notice. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram exploded with hashtags like Ozempic Journey and weight loss goals, generating millions of views. But the viral attention has created a dangerous narrative, one where GLP-1 drugs are seen as a miracle weight loss solution for anyone, regardless of whether they medically need them. This has led to widespread off-label use, with people obtaining prescriptions purely for cosmetic reasons. The consequences of this trend are devastating. With demand outpacing supply, pharmacies across the country are facing shortages, leaving diabetic patients, the group these drugs were originally designed for, without access to life-saving treatments. While patients struggle, pharmaceutical companies are thriving. Novo Nordisk's revenue from GLP-1 drugs accounted for a significant portion of its $25 billion in annual earnings. Similarly, Eli Lilly's success with Mounjaro has made it one of the fastest-growing companies in the industry. This level of profit has drawn criticism from policymakers and healthcare advocates, who argue that drug pricing in the US is fundamentally broken. Unlike countries with universal healthcare systems, the US allows pharmaceutical companies to set their own prices without government negotiation. This has made life-saving medications increasingly unaffordable for the average person. Accessibility issues extend beyond cost. In rural areas and underserved communities, access to GLP-1 drugs is limited by a lack of healthcare infrastructure. Many clinics don't have specialists who can prescribe or monitor these treatments, leaving patients without options. For low-income patients, the barriers are even greater. Studies show that individuals from marginalized communities are less likely to be prescribed GLP-1 drugs, even when they meet the medical criteria. This systemic inequity further widens the gap in healthcare outcomes. Another area of concern is the safety of GLP-1 drugs. While these medications are generally considered safe, they're not without risks. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. However, more serious concerns have emerged over time. Recent lawsuits have alleged that prolonged use of GLP-1 drugs increases the risk of thyroid cancer and other complications. While these claims are still under investigation, they highlight the need for long-term safety data. The lack of transparency from pharmaceutical companies has only added to public skepticism. Despite these challenges, it's undeniable that GLP-1 drugs have the potential to transform healthcare. They address two major public health crises, diabetes and obesity, and offer hope to millions. But the question remains, who gets to benefit and at what cost? As the GLP-1 craze continues, the growing divide between those who can afford these treatments and those who can't raises ethical concerns. Should life-changing medications be a privilege for the wealthy or a right for all? There is hope on the horizon. Generic versions of GLP-1 drugs are currently in development, promising more affordable options in the coming years. Advocacy groups are also pushing for healthcare reforms to cap drug prices and increase accessibility. If these efforts succeed, we could see a future where life-saving medications are available to all, not just a privileged few. The GLP-1 craze is a double-edged sword, offering innovation and hope while exposing the deep flaws in our healthcare system. As we navigate this complex landscape, it's crucial to ask tough questions and advocate for a future where health isn't determined by wealth. Thank you for watching. If this video opened your eyes, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the GLP-1 meds craze? Until next time, stay informed and stay empowered.